Riquetti, stop!
The village, of course. He'll be looking for transportation. He didn't have time to go far. He has to be hiding here. Someone has to have seen a stranger.
Excuse me, did you see a man run by here?
طبعا أنا شايفه، البرتقال بتاعي كان جاري بسرعة ورماه على الأرض.
Which way did he go?
من هناك لاقيه وادهولي بالشلوت.
Oh, I don't know what he said, but I think he's rooting for me.
Excuse me, did you see a man run by here?
راجل كان بيجري؟ شفته راح من هناك.
Hello, miss. May I help you?
I hope so. I believe a man came in here a few minutes ago.
This is an official office for the mail. Who are you to ask me about other customers?
I'm a detective in pursuit of a dangerous criminal.
I'm very sorry. The regulations, you see, they are very strict.
He gave you a message, didn't he? I need to see it.
I'm very sorry, but I have to close.
Wait.
I'm not through with you yet.
Damn it!
Are you mad?
Riquetti is laying low somewhere nearby. I need to find him before he disappears again. It's surprising he didn't use their message encryption system. He's scared. I like him scared.
What's this story about a red salamander?
I don't know what you're talking about. Leave me alone.
Never mind, I'll manage on my own. Thanks for your cooperation.
The red salamander! I found the hideout! I'm sure Riccetti's there. At last, it's payback time!
Stop!
Not on your life!
Crap! Ricetti, give it up. You're trapped.
He is injured. He won't get far.
It's over for you. You've killed all you're going to kill.
I didn't kill that servant, and I didn't kill that stupid rich bitch. Why would I? I barely knew them.
Cut the crap. I know you're the spider. And Emmy Duns. Maybe you barely knew her too? You just killed her for the thrill of it?
Duns? Name doesn't ring a bell?
August 3rd, 1974 in London. You shot her in the street because she had enough evidence to close down AWL.
Ah, the Chinese restaurant hit. Is that what this is all about? She was snooping around too much for some friends of mine to let her continue. A friend of yours?
She was much more than that, you bastard.
Listen to me. It was a simple contract. Nothing personal.
Who at the Spire ordered the murder?
All I can tell you is that Kapoor alerted us that your girlfriend was threatening the organisation. They sent me.
Who is they?
They didn't sign a purchase order.
In that case, what? Am I going to have to settle for you? That suits me fine. At least I'll have avenged Emmy.
Do what you think is necessary. I can't stop you now. But know that I'm sorry for your friend. It was just business. It wasn't personal.
Get up.
I can't do it alone. Ouch! Thank you.
All right, let's go. Where's Riquetti? He was right there. He's gone. I'm sorry, Mr. Poirot.
Of course. Miss Royce, good luck.
What is going on? Another murder?
Oui, monsieur. Another murder. And for the second time, Poirot has arrived too late. Focus, Poirot. Summarize what you know. First, Mademoiselle Bourget was slashed by a thin, extremely sharp object. Possibly a scalpel. Then we have a torn piece of currency found clutched in her hand. Next, we have a ribbon from a bundle of $10,000 notes found on the floor. Finally, there is a telegram intended for Monsieur Riquetti among the victim's belongings. A telegram that was very incriminating for him. These tell a story. Possibly more than one. Time to put the pieces together. Tell me, Tarek, what were you doing at the time of Miss Bourget's death?
I was on the deck near the gangway. The captain had asked me to stand guard.
And you didn't see anything unusual or unexpected?
Not really. I saw Mr. Hayashi and Mr. Allerton leave the saloon together. Mr. Hayashi called out to me to ask if I wanted to play billiards, but I declined. After all, I was on duty, no time for games.
Mr. Hayashi, what can you tell me about Mademoiselle Bourget's death?
Let me see. I spent the afternoon playing billiards with Tim. Miss Bourget was reading in a corner of the saloon. When you summoned Tim, I went out with him to find someone else to play. Miss Bourget was perfectly fine when we left her.
And then?
Outside, I saw the steward, Tarek, on the deck. I asked him if he could play, but he was on duty. I kind of expected that. Then I saw Mr. Riquetti on the bow. I went over and asked him if he was up for a game. We chatted for 10 minutes or so. He finally agreed to play. We went back to the saloon together, and that's when we found Miss Bourget dead.
A thin weapon, very sharp, has slit the throat, possibly a scalpel. A torn piece of a $100 note in her hand. A ribbon for bundling stacks of notes. There must have been $10,000 here at least, but the money is missing. This is where I found Mr. Riquetti's encrypted telegram. little grey cells. They do not desert me. Excellent deduction. That's fair. Good answer. Of course. My little grey cells did not let me down. Bravo! A doctor's kit would undoubtedly contain a scalpel. Possibly more than one. And in fact, this was confirmed by Miss Royce, who searched his cabin. I'll need to question him. Another victory for Poirot, of course. This answer, it is not satisfactory. Exactly. I'm right. Don't be in such a rush, Poirot. This room may still contain more to uncover. Mr. Hayashi, what can you tell me about Mademoiselle Bourget's death?
Let me see. I spent the afternoon playing billiards with Tim. Miss Bourget was reading in a corner of the saloon. When you summoned Tim, I went out with him to find someone else to play. Miss Bourget was perfectly fine when we left her.
And then?
Outside, I saw the steward, Tarek, on the deck. I asked him if he could play, but he was on duty. I kind of expected that. Then I saw Mr. Riquetti on the bow. I went over and asked him if he was up for a game. We chatted for 10 minutes or so. He finally agreed to play. We went back to the saloon together and that's when we found Miss Bourget dead.
It's at times like this when I miss my good friend Hastings. Miss Royce would be a good choice, but alas, she pursues her own destiny just now. You will have to do.
What? What do you mean?
Your job is to listen. Follow my reasoning closely, if you can. I know that Louis Bourget wanted to blackmail Mr. Riquetti with his telegram. But I also know that you, Tarek, and Mr. Riquetti have alibis. None of you could have killed Mademoiselle Bourget. Yet, there was certainly a tidy sum paid for blackmail. Where could that money be now?
Very well. Let me think. Well, it seems obvious then that Louise was blackmailing someone else.
Excellent. Indeed. Louis Bourget must have been blackmailing both Riquetti and another person on his boat, connected to another case. Which one?
The murder of Mrs. Doyle?
Exactly. The victim of the blackmail could have simply paid. But if their secret were ever revealed, they'd risk the death penalty. They couldn't take that chance. But what had Louise Bourget discovered?
Louise had discovered the identity of the murderer.
Precisely. Louise knew who murdered Mrs. Doyle. She wanted to blackmail that person instead of telling me. Instead of getting paid by the killer, she paid with her life.
But what about Riquetti?
I'm afraid Miss Bourget saw the rewards of blackmail, but not the danger. She must have planned to blackmail Riquetti as well. But she was killed before she could.
Of course. You're right, Monsieur Poirot. It's brilliant.
Yes, I know. Clearly, the deaths of Mrs. Doyle and Miss Bourget are connected. It's possible that the same person murdered both women. Investigating Mrs. Doyle's death will surely lead me to Miss Bourget's killer. Mr. Tarek, could you move the body to the cold storage in the hold?
Do what? Yes, sir. Forgive me. The usual request I expect to receive is more like, may I have another glass of wine?
It's time for me to speak with Dr. Bessner. Dr. Bessner, sorry to disturb you. Mr. Doyle, how are you?
My leg is in pain, but Bessner has some marvelous little pills in that bag of his that help.
His condition has worsened. He has a fever. We really need to get him to the Aswan hospital as soon as possible.
Yes, it won't be long now. We're waiting for Miss Royce to return before we leave. In the meantime, could you show me your scalpels, please? I want to see if you might be missing one.
Missing one? I assure you I take great care of my instruments.
Louise Bourget was found with her throat slashed by a small, thin, sharp weapon. Probably a scalpel.
Do you think I, Carl Bessner, who is so well known all over Austria, I with my clinics, my highly born patients, I have killed a miserable little femme de chambre? But it is ridiculous, absurd what you say. None of my knives are missing. Not one, I tell you. They're all here, correct in their places. You can see for yourself.
A stethoscope is nothing unusual in a doctor's bag. A blood pressure monitor is a necessary tool for a doctor. Nothing unusual about it. As expected, A scalpel is missing. Dr. Bessner, you are missing a scalpel.
Was? This insult to my profession I will not forget.
Whew, you've put the old boys back up.
Ah, there you are, Monsieur Poirot. It is most important. I have vital information. Mr. Doyle, I know who killed your wife.
What?
My theories are completely vindicated. The deep, primeval, primordial urges. It may appear impossible, fantastic, but it is the truth.
Do I understand that you have evidence in your possession to show who killed Mrs. Doyle?
Certainly I have. You will agree, will you not, that whoever killed Louise Bourget also killed Lynette Doyle? That the two crimes were committed by one and the same hand?
You mean you have a theory as to who killed Louise Bourget?
No, I have exact knowledge. I saw the person with my own eyes.
For God's sake, start at the beginning. You know the person who killed Louise Bourget, you say?
I will tell you exactly what occurred. I went to the rooftop bar to get, something to help me sleep. I did not wish my daughter to know of it. She tends to disapprove. As I was saying, I was on the terrace when I saw... I didn't think anything of it, of course. But when I learned that Louise had died in the saloon, I understood everything.
Maybe you understood, but I can't understand anything. Calm down. Start over from the beginning. In detail.
Yes, yes. As I was at the top of the terrace stairs, about to go down, I saw the murderer. It was...
Good heavens, Poirot. What's going on?
Did you see anyone run past just now?
No.
Don't move from here. The murderer has vanished. Again.
Another murder? Who was it this time?
I'm sorry.
My God. Mother!
What did you see?
Nothing. I was looking at the Nile on the other side of the starboard deck. I heard a gunshot and rushed over. Probably not the smartest move.
Did you run into anyone?
No, no one. Why I was running towards someone firing a gun, I'll never know.
If the instinct overcomes you again, I would resist it. And you, Mrs. Allerton?
I was reading in my cabin. I heard the noise and peeped outside. I wish I could help, but I saw no one.
Thank you, madame. Did you see anything?
No. I was in your cabin with Rosalie, as you had requested. We were talking when we heard the gunshot. Rosalie went white as a ghost and rushed outside. I followed her.
I heard the shot, shouting, and went out, but I didn't see anyone either.
It's horrible. Poor Rosalie.
Yes, this cruise feels less upon the Nile and more upon the river Styx. Did you witness anything that may help?
You may not believe me, but after your outrageous accusations, I went to calm down on deck. I was at the stern, alone, when I heard the gunshot. I couldn't see anything from where I was. These ladies then arrived.
Yes, we heard the shot. We came to see what was happening, and now there's another dead body. I have to get off this boat.
Calm down, Cousin Marie, please. We were together, coming up from the lower deck. We didn't see anything at all.
Miss Otterborn, I share your sorrow. I will need to examine the crime scene. Perhaps some fresh air would do you good? A bullet to the head. Behind the left ear, a large caliber. She died instantly. Another life gone on this cursed boat.
What a horror! You were close to the door, and you really didn't see anything?
No, not even a shadow.
Poirot, I beg you, do something.
Another murder. The killer laughs at Poirot. It is a nightmare. The barrel is still warm. It's definitely the murder weapon. I've seen this pistol somewhere before. Yes, given the bullet impact behind Mrs. Otterborn's left ear, the killer must have been to her left. The killer must have fled towards the front of the boat. Otherwise, I would have seen them pass by the door. Who is the world's greatest detective? She was about to reveal who she saw enter the saloon to kill Louise. It's certainly the same person who silenced her before she could speak. Excellent detective work. Naturally. Miss Royce told me she saw this pistol in Mr. Pennington's cabin. I'll need to question him once I'm done here. He should still be in the lounge. Precisely. Is that applause I hear? The human animal never fails to surprise me. Other animals will run when they hear a shot. With humans, you can never depend on them being so rational. The killer had few ways to escape. I can rule out the possibility that they jumped into the water. Everyone would have heard the splash. I can also rule out the suspects who are at the stern. It's clear the killer fled towards the bow. Therefore, the killer is now either on the upper deck among the present passengers, or they jumped to the lower deck and are hiding there. Who else could have succeeded? Did you witness anything that may help?
You may not. I couldn't see anything from where I was.
Yes. We can.
Calm down, Cousin Marie, please. We were together.
Please, let me through. I was informed of what happened. It's terrible. My sincere condolences, miss.
Thank you, Captain.
This situation is completely beyond me. What can I do to help, Mr. Poirot?
We need to place Mrs. Otterborn's body in the cold storage with the others. But, most importantly, we must ensure the safety of the other passengers.
I'll see to Mrs. Otterborn immediately. Tarek, Samir, come help me.
Thank you, Captain. Then please stay on the alert.
Don't you worry. My crew and I will be vigilant.
How is Mr. Doyle?
The fever has worsened, but I've just given him an antibiotic. And Miss Bowers is watching over him. There's nothing more we can do for now.
Nothing to report, but I'm staying alert.
There's Mr. Pennington.
Everyone's on edge. I've never experienced anything like this.
I'm so very sorry, mademoiselle.
She's completely in shock.
Take good care of her, young man. Mr. Pennington, didn't you hear a gunshot?
I've been thinking about it, yes.
I may have. Someone was shot?
Mrs. Otterborn. She's dead.
Mrs. Otterborn? Who on earth would want to shoot that harmless old lady?
Someone who brought a gun aboard. It's your pistol that killed Mrs. Otterborn.
My pistol? Really? Is that an accusation? I haven't moved since the last time we spoke. And anyway, everyone knew I kept a gun in my cabin. I mentioned it at dinner.
It's true. He showed his gun to Mr. Hayashi last night at the restaurant. Everyone saw it and could have stolen it from his cabin, especially since it wasn't particularly well hidden.
Besides, why would I want to kill her?
There is an obvious motive, monsieur. Mrs. Otterborn was killed because she knew who murdered Miss Bourget. She had to die just as she was about to reveal their identity.
So you really think I'm the killer?
I admit, it would be a pleasure to solve this mystery by accusing you. But I know you're not the murderer. Mr. Ferguson was at the end of the deck, near the lounge. Either he saw no one or he's lying. And then he's our murderer, which logically means it's not you. And if he's telling the truth, it proves you didn't leave the lounge. Either way, his testimony clears you.
At last, some sanity. Since you're not the police, would you kindly let me have my pistol back?
I suggest you take better care of it. And do not be so very pleased with yourself, monsieur. You and I are not done yet. I've exhausted all the possible leads I had regarding Mrs. Otterborn's murder. It's obviously connected to Lynette Doyle. But how? I must return to her death. Solving that will lead me to whomever turned this cruise into a nightmare. With all these tragedies, I have not had a single moment to reflect calmly. I must revisit details, and I know of a good place to start. Tim Allerton gave me a piece of information that seemed trivial to him, but awakened my little grey cells. But before I could investigate, we were interrupted by the death of Miss Bourget. What was it now? Ah, yes. Mr. Allerton told me he heard a splash at 12:26 a.m. near the bow. However, Miss Otterborn admitted to throwing her mother's bottles overboard at 1:10 a.m. near the stern. 2 splashes, 2 objects thrown into the water last night. I need to find out what the first one was. This is indeed where Tim heard the splash. But I'm too high up. From here, I won't be able to dredge the bottom of the river. Perfect. From here, I should be able to dredge up whatever was thrown into the water.
Here you go, sir. I've brought what's needed to dredge the bottom, as you requested.
Thank you very much. Let's get to work. We shouldn't waste any time. I'll guide you. Wonderful. A successful catch indeed. Let's see what treasures you found for us. A can. It must have been down there for years. A worn shoe, falling to pieces. It serves some foot well. A Morse code bracelet. What an odd place to find such a thing. A plastic bottle, thoughtfully tossed overboard by a tourist, no doubt. It has a hole with burn marks on the edges. This handkerchief is quite ordinary, not expensive. It's stained red. Blood? No. After a night at the bottom of the Nile, the color should have faded. But the stain is still bright red, as if it were just made. It looks more like red ink. Ah, there you are, the infamous revolver of Mr. Belfort, and the presumed murder weapon. 3 bullets are missing. 3? I finally know what was thrown at 12:26 a.m. A torn scarf, a stained handkerchief, and Mr. Belfort's revolver with 3 missing bullets. The pieces of the puzzle are coming together.
So, do you know who the killer is, Mr. Poirot?
Almost, Samir. Thanks to this fruitful catch, I can now draw some new conclusions. A certain scoundrel has been laughing at Poirot, but laughter dies swiftly in a hangman's noose. This scarf belongs to Miss Fanchula. It disappeared from the lounge the night before Mrs. Doyle's murder. Given the size of the hole and the burn marks around it, it is clear someone fired a small caliber bullet at this scarf at close range. Who else could have succeeded? When I inspected Mrs. Doyle's cabin, I remember seeing a nail polish bottle labeled pink, yet the liquid inside was clearly red. The contents of that bottle deserves a closer look. Another victory for Poirot, of course. According to witness testimonies and my analysis of the crime scene, there were only 2 shots that night. The one fired by Miss de Belfort, which wounded Simon Doyle, and the one that killed Lynette Doyle. Excellent detective work, naturally. That's logical. This must be the right solution. Et voila. I now have all the facts I need to reconstruct the events of the night Lynette Doyle was murdered. And with the help of my little gray cells, I will solve the murder of Mrs. Doyle. Samir, would you be so kind as to gather all the passengers in the lounge? As quick as you can.
Everyone? Even Mr. Doyle? In his condition?
Yes. It is absolutely crucial that all the passengers are present. I'm counting on you.
Right away, Mr. Poirot.
Miss Royce, finally here you are. We were starting to worry.
Good evening, Captain. Is there somewhere secure where we can lock up Mr. Richetti?
Mr. Richetti? So he's the murderer? He was always so polite.
I haven't killed anyone on this stupid boat. Contact the authorities. She kidnapped me.
He's a professional hitman, extremely dangerous. He killed my partner.
I understand. I am very sorry. Let me think. You understand we've already got the ship's mechanic locked up. Well, I suppose the second storeroom in the hold should do.
Do you have a key?
Yes, of course. But this is supposed to be a pleasure boat, not a present ship.
Then I brought him back to the boat. He's tied and locked up down below.
I see. Congratulations, mademoiselle. You are to be commended for your tenacity as well as your bravery.
Enough about me. What about you? Have you made progress on Louise's murder? Richetti claims it wasn't him.
For once, he is telling the truth. He may be a murderer, but he's not our murderer. The best proof is that there was another murder on the boat during your absence. Mrs. Otterborn is dead.
Oh no, that poor lady. Who did it?
I was just about to answer that question. Everyone should be gathered in the lounge. If you wouldn't mind heading there, I'll join you shortly.
All right, I'll go ahead.
Nobody's going through that door, sir. You can trust me.
I see that everyone is here. Even Mr. Doyle.
I hope you have a good reason for moving Mr. Doyle. He is in very bad shape, as I've mentioned more than once, mein Herr.
I'll be fine. I want to hear what Mr. Poirot has discovered about Lynette's murder.
Thank you, monsieur. Now then, when we first began our investigation, we had two hypotheses. The first was that the murder was not premeditated. The killer witnesses the scene between Miss de Belfort and Mr. Doyle, waits for everyone to leave the lounge, grabs the revolver that was under the chair, and shoots Lynette Doyle. The second hypothesis was that the murder had been meticulously premeditated. Correct, Miss Royce?
Correct. Very quickly, we were able to eliminate one of these two hypotheses. The murder was very carefully planned and accurately timed, with all the details meticulously worked out beforehand.
Even to the drugging of my bottle of wine on the night in question. Let us explore the elements that support this hypothesis. Miss Robson had seen Mr. Belfort fire her revolver, had seen Simon Doyle collapse onto a chair and had seen him clasp a handkerchief to his leg.
That's exactly what I saw.
What had Mr. Hayashi heard and seen? He heard a shot, and he found Doyle with a red-stained handkerchief pressed to his leg.
I can confirm that.
What had happened then? Mr. Doyle had been very insistent that Mr. Belfort should be got away, that she should not be left alone. After that, he suggested that Mr. Hayashi should get hold of the doctor. Accordingly, Miss Robson and Mr. Hayashi go out with Mr. Belfort, and for the next 5 minutes, they are busy on the port side of the deck. Miss Bowers, Dr. Bessner's, and Mr. Belfort's cabins are all on the port side.
So someone had 5 minutes alone to go and kill Mrs. Doyle.
But who?
Simon Doyle.
It is foolish, that. Do you think a man with a fractured bone and a splint on his leg could go walking about the boat and killing people? I tell you, it was impossible for Simon Doyle to leave my cabin.
But yes, the thing seems impossible, but it's nonetheless true. During my investigation, I managed to retrieve Mr. Belfort's revolver, which had been thrown into the water. It was wrapped in a stained handkerchief. To an untrained eye, this stain could have been mistaken for blood. But Hercule Poirot's eyes are not untrained. The stain was in fact red ink contained in one of Mrs. Doyle's bottles of nail polish.
So when Miss Robson and Mr. Hayashi saw Mr. Belfort shoot Mr. Doyle, and he writhed so piteously in pain from his injury, it was all a show. It was all staged. Mr. Doyle used that handkerchief soaked in red ink to make it look like he was bleeding from a bullet in his leg. He managed to fool everyone.
But I carried him. I clearly saw that he was in real pain.
Absolutely correct. He was indeed injured when you carried him.
But you just said that...
Patience, if you please. We're getting to the boldest part of this plan. As I mentioned earlier, after Mr. Belfort fired her shot, Mr. Doyle insisted that Miss Robson and Mr. Hayashi remove her from the lounge. Now he is alone. 2 minutes are all that Simon Doyle needs. He picks up the pistol from under the sofa, runs like a hare silently along the starboard deck, enters his wife's cabin, creeps up to her as she lies asleep, shoots her through the head, puts the bottle that has contained the red ink away, and runs back. But what does he do next? He sits back down in his chair and shoots himself in the leg. That is the moment when he's truly injured.
But what about the gunshot? We should have heard it, just like the first one. I even heard a splash in the water, which makes far less noise.
Well observed, my young friend. Mr. Doyle used an object to muffle the sound of the gunshot. Remember, on the night of the murder, Miss Van Schuler had lost her scarf. In fact, it was Simon Doyle who stole it and hid it under a cushion, setting the stage for his crime.
Scoundrel! How dare you involve me in your nasty schemes?
We fished the scarf, the handkerchief, and Mr. Belfort's revolver from the Nile. As you can see, the scarf has a hole ringed with powder burns, caused by a bullet fired at close range. You, Dr. Bessner, examined Lynette Doyle's body. You will remember that the wound showed signs of scorching. That is to say that the pistol had been placed close against the head before being fired.
So, that is exact.
Now, thanks to this scarf, we know that the gunshot was muffled. This also wasn't the shot that killed Lynette Doyle. Because as we also now know, that the burn marks on her skin means the gun's barrel was placed very close to her skin, with nothing in between. It also could not have been the shot Mr. Belfort fired at Simon Doyle, as no one mentioned anything about it sounding muffled. Given these facts, the conclusion is quite clear. A third shot was fired that night. The third missing bullet from the revolver.
You make it sound so simple and logical.
Because it is, Monsieur Ferguson. Miss Van Schuler's scarf was used to muffle the sound of the gunshot when Mr. Doyle shot himself in the leg.
But that's not the end of the revolver's journey. Mr. Doyle wrapped the revolver in the stained handkerchief, then put everything in the scarf and tossed the bundle out the window into the Nile.
And that's the splash I heard.
Exactly, Mr. Allerton. It required very precise timing, but Monsieur Doyle acted coldly and swiftly, just as he did when he murdered his wife.
You certainly live up to your reputation, Mr. Poirot. Your theories are quite spectacular, but something is bothering me. If I am the villainous murderer who killed his wife, how do you explain the murders of Louise and Mrs. Otterbourne? What fantasies have you cooked up to explain how I could have managed those? And why? According to your theory, I was well and truly injured and bedridden in the care of Dr. Bessner all day. In fact, you're my alibi. I was even in the same room as you when poor Mrs. Otterbourne was killed.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Doyle. I hope you didn't think I was done. Let us move on to the murders of those unfortunate women. You couldn't have killed Miss Bourget and Mrs. Otterbourne, Mr. Doyle. But you're not entirely innocent of their deaths either. Remember when Louise came to testify? When I asked her if she had seen anything the previous night, she gave this curious answer. Naturally, if I had been unable to sleep, if I had mounted the stairs, then perhaps I might have seen this assassin, this monster, enter or leave Madame's cabin. Now, what exactly did that tell us? Miss Bourget lied when she said she saw nothing. She had indeed seen the murderer, Mr. Doyle, enter Lynette's cabin. But instead of coming to me, she preferred to profit from her knowledge. She tried to blackmail Mr. Doyle. She sent her carefully worded message, and he responded, "You'll be quite all right. I'll look after you."
Secret codes now? Really? Ridiculous. And you're still not answering my question. How could I have killed Louise in the saloon when I could barely walk?
It's very simple. If you didn't kill Louise Bourget, then you must have had an accomplice.
An accomplice? Are you accusing me?
This accomplice can be none other than Jacqueline de Belfort.
What?
I beg your pardon? You're insane.
As I say, it was a very cleverly planned and well thought out piece of work. It could not be chance that Simon Doyle had a bottle of red ink in his pocket. No, it must be design. It was not chance that he had a plain unmarked handkerchief with him. It was not chance that Jacqueline de Belfort's foot kicked the pistol under the settee, where it would be out of sight and unremembered until later.
So you truly believe that Miss de Belfort and Mr. Doyle are accomplices?
Certainly, the two halves of the murderer. What gave Simon his alibi? It's the bullet that Miss de Belfort fired into Mr. Doyle's leg that provided him with an alibi. Even if left alone, he wouldn't have been able to crawl to his wife's cabin to kill her. But Miss de Belfort didn't actually hit Mr. Doyle with that shot. He pretended to be injured, so crawling wasn't necessary. Now let's move on to the shooter. What gives Jacqueline de Belfort her alibi? Mr. Doyle was insistent that Miss de Belfort was never to be left alone from the moment of the gunshot until this morning. That gave her a rock-solid alibi for the murder of Mrs. Doyle.
There, between the two of them, you get all the qualities you require. The cool, resourceful planning brain, Jacqueline de Belfort's brain, and the man of action to carry it out with incredible swiftness and timing.
Look at it the right way, and it answers every question. Simon Doyle and Jacqueline had been lovers. Realise that they are still lovers, and it is all clear. Simon does away with his rich wife, inherits her money, and in due course will marry his old love. It was all very ingenious.
The persecution of Mrs. Doyle by Jacqueline, all part of the plan. Simon's pretended rage. Then one night, on this boat, I thought I heard Simon and Lynette outside my cabin. He was saying, "We've got to go through with it now." It was Doyle, all right, but it was to Jacqueline he was speaking. The final drama was perfectly planned and timed. There was a sleeping draught for me, in case I might put an inconvenient finger in the pie. There was the selection of Miss Robson as a witness, the working up of the scene, Miss de Belfort's exaggerated remorse and frenzies. She made a good deal of noise in case the shot should be heard. In truth, it was an extraordinarily clever idea. Jacqueline says she shot Doyle. Miss Robson says so. Mr. Hayashi says so. And when Simon's leg is examined, he has indeed been shot. It looks unanswerable. For both of them, there is a perfect alibi. At the cost, it is true, of a certain amount of pain and risk to Simon Doyle. But it is necessary that his wound should definitely disable him. But then, the plan goes wrong. Someone sees Mr. Doyle enter his wife's cabin. Louise Bourget has been wakeful. She has come up the stairway, and she has seen Simon Doyle run along to his wife's cabin and come back. So she makes her greedy bid for hush money and, in so doing, signs her death warrant.
But Mr. Doyle couldn't have killed her.
No. The other partner did that murder. As soon as he could, Simon Doyle asks to see Jacqueline. He even asks me to leave them alone together. He tells her of the new danger. They must act at once. He knows where Bessner's scalpels are kept. And still, all is not well. For Mrs. Otterbourne has seen Jacqueline go to the saloon, and she comes hot foot to tell Simon about it. Jacqueline is the murderess. Do you remember how Simon shouted at the poor woman? Nerves, we thought. But the door was open, and he was trying to convey the danger to his accomplice. She heard, and she acted like lightning. She remembered Pennington had talked about a revolver. She got hold of it, crept up outside the door, listened, and at the critical moment, fired. She boasted once that she was a good shot, and her boast was not an idle one. I remarked, after that third crime, that there were 3 ways the murderer could have gone. I meant that he could have gone aft, in which case Ferguson was the criminal. He could have gone over the side, very improbable. Or he could have gone into a cabin. Jacqueline's cabin was just 2 away from Dr. Bessner's. She had only to throw down the revolver and bolt into the cabin. It was risky, but it was the only possible chance.
So you killed my mother, you filthy witch!
Rosalie, no. I understand, but attacking her isn't the answer.
Come on. How can you listen to the ramblings of this old fool? His entire grand theory is based on the fancies he's made up out of whole cloth, without a shred of evidence.
You might hope it is so, young man. You insist more proof is needed? You hope Poirot is a doddering old fool? Then by all means, let's allow someone else to dodder some. Miss Royce, if you would.
With pleasure. The irrefutable proof is tiny, but look here. You can see that the wood is damaged, and the bullet that caused it is still lodged in the hole. I'm sure forensics will prove that it's a .22 caliber cartridge fired from the murder weapon. This is the bullet Mr. Belfour shot at Simon Doyle. It ended up in the wall, not in his leg.
Damn you! Damn you both! Our plan was perfect! It took 2 meddling detectives to work it out. Jackie and I were going to be rich and happy. We deserved it!
And we derive the penalty for our failure. Simon, darling, let me speak. You were too clever for us, Mr. Poirot. That night, at Aswan, you told me not to open my heart to evil. Did you realize then what was in my mind?
I only knew that what I said was true.
It was true I could have stopped then, you know. I nearly did. I could have told Simon that I wouldn't go on with it. But then perhaps... Would you like to hear about it? From the beginning?
If you care to tell me, mademoiselle.
It was all very simple, really. You see, Simon and I loved each other.
And for you, love would have been enough. But not for him.
You might put it that way, perhaps. Simon always wanted money so dreadfully, and all the same, he never tried to marry anybody rich and horrid. He wasn't that sort. And then we met. Our love was obvious from the first glance. We were broke, but we wanted to get married. There we were, up against it. And then I thought of Lynette. It might make all the difference to me and Simon if she'd give him a job. It was about then that you saw us that night at Chez ma tante. You know, Mr. Poirot, I loved Lynette, really I did. She was my best friend, and I never dreamed that anything would ever come between us. But she went all out to get Simon away from me. I don't think she even hesitated for more than about a minute. I was her friend, but she didn't care. She just went bald-headed for Simon. That's why I'm not really sorry about her, even now. And Simon didn't care a damn about her. But he did like the thought of her money. Of course I saw that. And at last I suggested to him that it might be a good thing if he got rid of me and married Lynette. But he scouted the idea. He said, money or no money, it would be hell to be married to her. He said his idea of having money was to have it himself. He talked about it a good deal one way and another, about how convenient it would be if Lynette died. I said it was an awful idea, and then he shut up about it. After a bit, I saw that he'd made up his mind, and I was terrified. Simply terrified. Because you see, I realized that he'd never pull it off. He'd have no kind of subtlety about it. And he's got no imagination. So I had to come into it too, to look after him. I thought and I thought, trying to work out a plan. It seemed to me that the basis of the idea ought to be a kind of two-handed alibi. You know, Simon and I could somehow or other give evidence against each other, but actually that evidence would clear us of everything. It would be easy enough for me to pretend to hate Simon. It was quite a likely thing to happen under the circumstances. Then, if Lynette was killed, I should probably be suspected. So it would be better if I was suspected right away. We worked out details little by little. Even then, Simon went and wrote a J in blood, which was a silly, melodramatic thing to do. It's just the sort of thing he would think of. But it all went off fine. And then there was Louise.
Yes. It was not your fault that Louise Bourget could not sleep that night.
That miserable Frenchwoman tried to blackmail us. I pretended to grovel. I took her all the money we could get hold of. And then, when she was counting the money, I did it. It was quite easy. That's what's so horribly frightening about it. It's so terribly easy. And even then, we weren't safe. Mrs. Otterbourne had seen me. I'd no time to think. I just acted like a flash. It was almost exciting.
Love can be a very frightening thing.
That is why most great love stories are tragedies. Don't mind so much for me, Monsieur Poirot. After all, I've always lived hard, you know.
Jackie, I ruined everything. I'm sorry for it all, my love. If I had known all this before,
It's all right, Simon. A fool's game, and we've lost. That's all.
Look out! She took my gun!
Adieu, mon amour.
No!
Us won at last. Still trying to absorb one shock after another. And how are we greeted upon our arrival? A day of police interrogation. We didn't reach the hotel until now. You there! I'm Mr. Pennington. Remember me? Is my room ready?
Yes, sir. Everything is ready. You are in room number 106.
Oh, it's not the same as last week? I like that one.
I assure you, sir, you won't notice the difference.
Oh, my feet are killing me. My back. The police might as well have beaten me. What brutes. Oh, those embarrassing personal questions, as if I were a criminal when we already know the truth.
Yes, the police could have simply relied on Monsieur Poirot's explanations. It would have saved us from wasting our entire day at the police station.
Fortunately, we're leaving tomorrow. They won't be seeing me in Egypt again anytime soon, I can tell you that.
Thank you for assisting me with the official statement to the police today, Miss Royce. Repeating it all for the police requires great patience.
I agree with you on that, Mr. Poirot. But I enjoyed the expressions on their faces as you explained the facts. It was my pleasure. At any rate, I understand we won't have to return there tomorrow.
No, the Egyptian police can take over from here. The narrative I provided seems to satisfy them. The case will be officially closed.
My God, I'm so hungry.
Then let's eat. All this excitement has made me quite hungry as well, my boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, your dinner is ready to be served. If you would kindly proceed to the terrace, everything has been arranged.
What a deplorable, exhausting day. I'm going straight back to my room to take a bath.
Mr. Poirot, I'm very sorry to disturb you, but the police commissioner just called. He would like to ask you a few more questions at the station.
What can be so urgent it can't wait until tomorrow? It's late. The little grey cells must have their rest.
I'm very sorry, sir, but the commissioner himself insisted. It sounded urgent. Even now, a police car awaits you. They'll take you there.
It seems my decision has been made for me. Very well, let's go.
Thank you.
There are always a few more questions. Good luck.
It is the dotting of the I and the crossing of the T only.
Finally, a chance to swing by my room and go through that bag Riquetti kept so close.
Hi, how are you doing?
It may sound callous, but with all that's happened, that is, well, yes, I think we're good. We have Egypt for bringing us together.
Beautiful evening.
Yes, I intend to make the most of it. My last night in Egypt.
As far as I'm concerned, I can't wait to be back home in the good old US of A. We have air conditioners there, you know.
What's up, Doc?
I'm waiting for my little carrot juice, celebrating completing a meal with no drama.
I'm sorry to bother you, but I forgot my room number.
It's room 107, miss.
Home sweet home. Too bad it's only for one night. My camera. Ready if I need it. Candy. A nice gesture. Okay, Ricchetti. Let's have a look at your little secrets. Interesting. It looks like an organisational chart for the Spire. And there seems to be plenty of other interesting information. I think it's time to create a clue wall. My Emmy. Video surveillance cameras. AWL security was spying on her. A list of coats of arms? Targets that the Spire was aiming at? And I feel like I've seen some of these coats of arms before. Emmy, I promise you, I will find out who ordered your murder. They will pay. Tyrone, killed in New York trying to defend his neighborhood. I never saw this man. Number 12. It's Lynette Doyle and her father. What did Ricchetti want from them? And that manor in the back, it looks familiar. Cassette tape. I need to find a way to listen to it. I need to listen to this tape. One of the passengers had a cassette player in their room on the boat. Who was it? Yes, Mr. Hayashi has a cassette player. I'll ask him. With this cassette player, I can listen to Ricchetti's tape. Photo of a funeral. Strange. A note with an interesting seal on it. My God! The leaders of the Spire. It's more like a cult than a criminal organization. Another note with a seal. Another note with a seal? A seal? I'm going to take a photo for my clue wall. A second tape. And a third one.
Logistics are currently slowed at AWL because of the spy in our midst. We need to do something. Deliveries are falling behind. Customers are growing impatient. They will start looking at the competition. As the logistics director, I am deciding to deliver Order H-53 despite the risks.
Memo number 13, December 9, 1971. My investigation is progressing well. I've already uncovered a large part of the Spire organization. Unfortunately, I can't put names to the positions yet, but I will eventually figure it out. One thing is certain. Whenever someone dies in the organization, it's the person below them in the hierarchy who takes their place. That should help me identify them all.
When I searched his room on the boat, I'm almost certain Ferguson had a similar coat of arms on his ring. At some point, I'll need to get Ferguson to confirm that. For now, I have more important things to do. Yes! Sometimes I even surprise myself. Yes! When I searched her cabin on the boat, I saw that Cornelia had a picture of herself as a young girl with the same manor house in the background. At some point, I'll need to get Cornelia to confirm that. For now, I have more important things to do. Not really that complicated.
I'll be there in a moment, May. I'll just wash up quickly. I'm not feeling very well. Internal note. Logistics are currently slowed at AWL because of the spy in our midst. We need to do something.
That's Kapoor's voice. Kapoor is the one behind the Eagle, the logistics director of the Spire. I was born to be a detective.
Still haven't eliminated Flint. What are you waiting for? Where is the validated mission order? No need. That's not protocol. Protocol is I tell you what to do and you do it. You execute, and that's it. It needs to look like an accident. Get it? Done. Today.
Okay, boss. If the Spire accuses me of acting alone in Flint's death, this tape is proof that I carried out the Bear's orders.
Do what you think is necessary. I can't stop you now.
That's Ricchetti's voice. That means the bear ordered Ricchetti to kill someone named Flint. And Ricchetti killed him and made it look like an accident. Test passed with flying colours. Brilliant. My God! These notes represent mission orders for Ricchetti to kill targets. This guy was investigating the Spire. He seems to have started to uncover their organizational chart, which explains why he must have been executed. The seal looks like the same one as the head of the organization. The seal that Riquetti had in his satchel matches the seal of the spider in the organizational chart. This confirms that Riquetti was indeed an enforcer for the organization, but more importantly, it shows that each position in the organization has an assigned seal. This photo was taken at Melliwish Ridgway's funeral. He was Lynette's father, but more importantly, he was one of the wealthiest people in England. His death was on the news for weeks. Vikram Kapoor! So this seal belongs to him! And again, that same seal. This damn piece of paper is the order for Emmy's murder. The order to kill Emmy came from the highest ranking person in the spire, the king. All that's left is to discover his identity. The man in the centre is wearing a lion mask. He seems to be the leader of the spire. No. 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 Almost. Again, that same seal. The mission order for Tyrone's execution. It's the same walking cane. I can't be mistaken. Meluish Ridgway is the man on that throne and behind that mask. Meluish Ridgway had been the lion of the spire for years, but today he is dead. According to the journalist's tape, it is always the person hierarchically below who takes the place of their superior when they die. The wolf has inherited the position of the new leader. Emmy was assassinated long after Meluish Ridgway's funeral. So it's the wolf who is the mastermind behind Emmy's murder. But who is hiding behind that name?
Correct! Wonderful!
Well done. This document was sent by the man behind this seal. The man talking to Riquetti is the bear, and he is his superior. I believe it's this person. Emmy, someone reported you to those bastards. It's because of them that I lost you. Emmy was indeed murdered because she was caught investigating the spire. Vikram Kapoor got wind of this and reported her to the head of the spire. Their leader then ordered Riquetti to execute her.
Mr. Pennington, open up!
Stop acting like a child! Open this door!
What's going on? I should go check.
Mr. Pennington, there's water flowing. I'm going to have to come in. Mr. Pennington, please remove the chain.
Are you doing this on purpose? You can see he doesn't want to open the door.
I can open the door.
Huh, with pleasure.
And there you go. I'm going to go check.
Yes, but you won't see anything. The fuses must have blown.
Wait, I have a flashlight in my room. Here.
Thank you. Stay here. I'm going to check.
Pennington. He's dead. Another death. And with Poirot gone, it's up to me to have a look around. I should investigate.
Did you find anything?
Yes, but I'm not done yet.
A jaguar tattoo. That reminds me of something on my clue wall. We'll just take a photo of it. The wall lamp that fell into the water must have caused the short circuit that blew the fuses in the room. The wall lamp that fell into the screw that held the lamp to the wall is unscrewed. I don't see how the lamp was attached to the wall. The electrical wire unraveled when the lamp fell into the water. He didn't have time to shampoo his hair. The bathtub overflowed, but not by that much. Maybe 15 minutes, 20 at the most.
Should I call the police?
No. The hall door was locked from the inside. No one could have gotten in that way.
I saw that you stopped the leak. Thank you. And Mr. Pennington?
He's dead.
Dead? This tour is cursed.
What? He's dead? But how?
I don't know yet.
You're a detective. You must find out what is going on. Did you find anything?
Yes, but I'm not done yet.
Okay, Jane, clues. Look for clues. Bingo! Wait! No way! It looks like a mission order from the Spire. What is it doing here? Pennington has a mission order to kill issued by the Spire. He was part of the organization? This changes everything. We'll hang on to this for now. Report of a bad accident. Pennington must have been close to her to keep this article. March 3rd, 1972. No balcony, and the windows are closed and locked. It's impossible for someone to have gotten in that way without breaking a window. Pennington's wallet. Pennington with Ridgway. They're so young. That means he has known the Ridgway family for a very long time. Pennington looks to be in his 20s, so this photo must be over 30 years old. Who is the third person? This could help me. I'm keeping it. The murderer clearly couldn't have gone that way. It looks like Mr. Pennington was celebrating.
not want any help?
I'll be fine, thank you.
It looks like Mr. Pennington was celebrating. A jaguar tattoo. That reminds me of something on my clue wall. We'll just take a photo of it.
Should I call the police?
No, not yet. Just give me a...
Are you managing all right?
Everything's fine.
One more test successful. A fishing line with a knot. Somehow, I don't think Pennington was planning to fish for something in his bathtub. I can understand most of what I've discovered here, except for this fishing line with a knot. It must have been holding something. But what? Yes! The fishing line was holding the lamp to the ventilation grate because the screw wasn't really securing the lamp to the wall. It is bizarre, but clear. I'd better check in with the receptionist. Another win with my name on it. The hall door was locked from the inside. No one could have gotten in that way.
Mr. Pennington was electrocuted, probably by a wall lamp that fell into his bathtub.
But that's terrible!
The lamp was only held up by a fishing line attached to the ventilation grate. I suspect that's not a quick fix.
What? This is a luxury hotel. It was once a palace. We do not attach lamps with pieces of string.
I believe you. I didn't think so. In any case, we need to call the police so they can conduct a proper investigation.
The police? The reputation of the hotel is going to be ruined. They'll think it's the hotel that did this shoddy work that led to a guest's death.
I'm sorry, it's not that simple.
Oh, really? What makes you think that?
Let me explain. The screw that held the lamp was 3/4 unscrewed, so that it wouldn't hold the lamp by itself. The screw allowed the string to be attached to the ventilation grate. It was premeditated. This is a cleverly crafted trap. I can say with certainty that Pennington was murdered.
A murder? So the killer entered the room to cut the string? This is supposed to make me feel better?
There was no way for the murderer to get into the room. This part remains a mystery. How could they cut the string without entering the room? I'll find out. But in the meantime, we need to notify the police.
No, please. They'll conclude it was an accident caused by our establishment's negligence. They would never believe such a complicated explanation. I don't want to end up in prison.
It won't come to that, I promise you. We must notify the police. But while we wait for them to arrive, I will do my best to unmask the murderer.
Oh, thank you. I guess I'm counting on you.
I'll start by questioning the neighbours. They might have seen or heard something. But I also discovered some extremely interesting information that will go on my clue wall. I have a lot of work ahead of me.
Miss Van Schuler, I need to question you, and I would also like to inspect your room.
You want to rummage through my things again?
No, I just need to check if there is access to Mr. Pennington's room.
You think there's a secret passage to his room? What a ludicrous idea. Be my guest.
No passage or any other way to enter Pennington's room. But I really didn't expect to find one. No balcony. As I suspected, the murderer couldn't have entered Pennington's room that way.
Can you tell me what you were doing before Mr. Pennington's death?
Yes. After dinner, I came back to my room at the same time as Mr. Ferguson. I didn't use a secret passage either.
Yes, I saw you.
I wanted to complain at the reception because I was missing a towel. When I went out, I saw a puddle of water in front of Mr. Pennington's door. I went down to inform the receptionist. He came back up with me. Then you arrived. End of story.
That's clear. Thank you. Mr. Ferguson, your neighbour, Mr. Pennington, had an accident in his bath.
Was it serious?
He's dead. An electrocution. I'm trying to understand the circumstances. May I come in? I will need to question you and would also like to inspect your room.
No, I don't think so. You already searched my cabin on the boat. What do you hope to find this time? No, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to let you do that again.
May I at least ask you some questions?
If you must.
Tell me about your evening.
I came back to my room after dinner. I haven't gone out since. I needed to be alone to collect my thoughts after this eventful day. I heard a huge crash a few minutes ago. That's all I heard.
The crash was probably me opening Mr. Pennington's door.
Oh, the subtle detective approach. I see.
Anything else?
No.
When we were on the boat, I saw your signet ring in your cabin. Could you show it to me again?
Why would you want to? I don't see any connection to your investigation. No way!
Your reaction is strange. One could almost say it's suspicious. Do you have something to hide?
Nothing. This is ridiculous.
Good evening, Mrs. Allerton.
Yes?
I'm tying up some loose ends in all that has happened. Would you mind answering one or two questions?
Oh, go ahead. Let's get it over with.
I'm afraid Mr. Pennington is dead.
Another death? I thought once we left the boat. How can this be happening?
You didn't know he was dead?
No, I haven't left my room since I came back from dinner. I didn't know anything about it. My goodness, his room is right next to mine.
You didn't hear anything?
I don't think... No. Wait. There was a fairly loud crash a few minutes ago.
Yes, that was me breaking down a door.
Oh, I see.
Anything else?
Besides the neighbors on the other side talking.
Thanks. I'm sorry for bothering you. Good evening, Cornelia. I hope I'm not bothering you.
Not at all. I was just reading.
I have bad news. Mr. Pennington is dead.
Oh no! An accident?
He was electrocuted. It clearly wasn't an accident. Since Mr. Poirot is not here, the hotel has asked me to look into it. When I searched your cabin on the boat, I remember a photo in your pocket watch. Could you show it to me again?
If you like. But why?
There's a detail I would like to check.
Oh, really? How peculiar. Here it is.
Exactly what I remembered.
Would it bother you if I borrowed the photo for an hour or two?
But why? I'm very attached to it. Do you really need it?
It would help me. I promise I'll take good care of it.
All right then.
Thank you again for lending me the photo.
Please be careful. It's the only photo I have left of my father.
No. No. That's fair. Unlike the other orders, this kill order has all the organization's seals. All of the Spire agree to take down this man for treason. He was therefore killed by Richetti. Almost. This kill order bears the seals of all the leaders of the Spire, except for the bear. It makes sense, considering he betrayed the organization by killing Flint behind his colleagues' backs. So this man is the bear. Why not? No. Flint, like Isabel Flint. This woman was apparently murdered by Richetti on orders of the bear. He apparently ignored the spire's usual procedure for ordering assassinations. No. 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 This woman who died in that car accident, she's the one Pennington is holding hands with when they were younger. Pennington seemed to care for her. A stump? These two people are both missing a hand. There's a good chance that she is the wolf. That jaguar tattoo is strikingly similar to the one from the spire. Pennington is the jaguar of the spire. Impressive. No. Why not? No. Well done. No. The family of Cornelia Robson is on the spies' target list. No. 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 The bear was killed for ordering Flint's death without following the spies' normal procedures. No. 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 Why not? Well done. Excellent. Great. no. 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 No, no, no. No, no, no.
Did you bring back my photo?
I need to keep it a little longer. You lived in a very beautiful house back then. You seemed to be well off. Today it's clear you depend financially on your cousin. What happened?
It's no great secret. At the time that photo was taken, we wanted for nothing. Let me put it that way. My father made some bad investments. We lost everything. We were ruined. My father died shortly after. It's the only photo I have of me with my father. That's why I care about it so much.
I think you might be editing your story a little bit. It's not your father who caused your family's ruin. It was Linnet's father who targeted your family and ruined them.
Oh, really? Wherever you got your information, they're wrong. They must be.
You don't believe me? You didn't know?
My mother always told me that it was my father who caused our misfortune. I don't see why she would have lied to me.
Well, I can tell you for sure that it was Meluish Ridgway who ruined your family. If you don't believe me, ask your mother.
I will, but it's nonsense. It must be.
Tell me about your evening.
I came back to my room after dinner. I haven't gone out since. I needed to be alone to collect my thoughts after this eventful day. I heard a huge crash a few minutes ago. That's all I heard.
I have nothing solid that proves he's lying. Unfortunately, this doesn't prove he's lying.
Oh yes. Were you really alone?
Yes, I've already told you that.
Yet Mrs. Allerton clearly heard conversation in this room with someone. And I don't think you were talking to yourself.
Yes, sorry. Too much commotion. I almost forgot that I was indeed with Cornelia. She came to check on me and stayed for barely 15 minutes.
What time did she leave?
At around 8:40 p.m. She wasn't feeling well and wanted to rest.
So Cornelia was in Ferguson's room when Pennington was electrocuted. But he lied to me. He might be hiding something.
Your story doesn't track. The more you insist on preventing me from entering to inspect your room, the more suspicious you look.
All right, be my guest. I have nothing to hide.
Thank you. It won't take long.
A ventilation grate. Let's see where it leads. This ventilation grate can be easily removed. I knew it! The two rooms are connected. No balcony. I knew the murderer couldn't enter Pennington's room that way.
Show me that ring. You've already lied to me once, so you can understand why I have doubts about your good faith.
All right, fine. I'll go get it. Here it is. Happy now?
I'm going to draw this coat of arms for my clue wall.
So, is this the murder weapon? Are you going to put the handcuffs on me?
Not yet, but you shouldn't take this situation so lightly.
Congratulations! That's almost it. That's almost it. That's almost it. Looks like Ferguson is actually part of the Dawlish family, one of the richest families in England. The spire seemed to be targeting his family. That's almost it. No. 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 It might have seemed that the murderer could have climbed through the ventilation grate from Ferguson's room, but it's far too small for them to have gotten through there. The murderer must have used the ventilation duct in Ferguson's room to cut the string holding the wall lamp. That one's for you, Emmy.
What did you do after your meal this evening?
I have a little secret. I don't know if I should tell you.
Does that little secret involve Ferguson?
Well, if you know, why ask? Yes, I was with him. But please don't tell anyone. Cousin Marie would strongly object to me dating someone beneath me, she'd say.
Don't worry, I can keep a secret. So you were with him and?
Nothing special. I met him after dinner. We talked for about 15 minutes, but I was exhausted from all the drama. I went back to my room and haven't left it since.
And when you were in Ferguson's room, did you hear anything?
No, but I wasn't paying much attention to anything happening outside the room.
I've uncovered the little mystery of your signet ring.
Again with my signet ring? Are you insane? It's just a perfectly ordinary signet ring. My father gave me that ring. I keep it safely in a secure box, because it holds a lot of sentimental value for me.
Your signet ring is not as ordinary as you claim.
Really? What makes you say that?
You dress like a hippie, but you are in fact the heir of the Dawlish family, one of the oldest and richest in England.
Okay, I've been uncovered. Well done, detective, and so what? What do you care how I dress?
Why all the secrecy?
Okay, so I cut ties with my family years ago. It's impossible for me to subscribe to their bourgeois, capitalist, aristocratic, fundamentally self-centered values. I'm much better off now, living far away from them under a false identity. It also allowed me to distance myself from the parasites they call friends, who swarm around my family.
The ties haven't been severed that much. You seem to maintain quite a comfortable lifestyle.
Not really. No, no, no. No. That works. No. Perfect. Of course. Isabel Flint died the day after Mellish Ridgway's funeral. Isabel Flint is the person hidden behind the wolf. Once Ridgway was dead, she should have taken over leadership of the Spire, but she didn't have time to take over. So it wasn't her who ordered Emmy's murder. I finally have all the pieces of this deadly little puzzle. Isabel Flint was the wolf. She was set to succeed Mellish Ridgway after his death, but the bear saw an opportunity. He hatched a scheme to kill the wolf and take her place. Unfortunately, the spire discovered the bear's plan and arranged his execution. After the plotting and treachery was over, all of the highest-ranking leaders of the spire were dead, except one, Pennington. So then, 6 months ago, it was Pennington who emerged as the leader of the spire. He was the bastard behind Emmy's murder. He ordered Richetti to kill her. But Pennington died before he could be brought to trial. He will never be arrested or judged for his crime, and the truth about Emmy's death will never come out. No, I can't let it end like that. Someone is still out there. Someone who has prevented me from putting Pennington behind bars, and I'm going to find out who that was. The spire is looking to ruin the Ferguson family. If he's aware that Pennington is the head of the organization, he knows that by killing Pennington, he distances the spire from him and his family. That would be a good motive to kill him. The spire ruined Cornelia's family. If she knew about it, and if she's aware that Pennington is the head of the organization, that would give her a strong motive for killing him. This ventilation grate can be easily removed. I knew it! The two rooms are connected. No. No, no, no. No. No, no, no. No, no, no. The photo of the Ridgway family looks more recent than the other one. While head of the Spire, Meluish Ridgway stole all the assets of the Robson family, including their home. Only Cornelia and Ferguson had motives to kill Pennington, and they are also the only ones who had access to the ventilation duct to cut the string at the time of the murder. One of them must be the murderer. I'm going to confront them. Another win with my name on it. I would like you to go down to reception, if you don't mind.
You want to search my room? Do it. Search it all you like. I'll go.
Could you please come down to the reception? It's time for me to share what this new investigation has revealed.
If it can exonerate me, I'll come down.
So, did the police still need you?
I'm sparing you the details, but the case is definitely closed this time. However, I just learned that Pennington has been killed.
Yes, that's right. A police officer just arrived. I've made him wait.
I've been told that you're investigating. Do you need help?
No, I think I've solved Pennington's murder.
Oh, really? So soon? I'm impressed. Please continue. For once, I only need to observe.
If you don't mind. As you know, Mr. Pennington was found dead, electrocuted in his bathtub. The wall lamp had come loose from the wall. It was clear to me that the lamp had been rigged with a string connected through a ventilation grate. But no one could have entered the room to trigger the trap.
A murder.
The trap could only have been triggered from the ventilation grate in Ferguson's room. Only 2 people were present in the room at the time of the murder, Ferguson and Cornelia. One of them killed Pennington.
I've had it with your accusations.
I don't understand anything about your story.
I'm just getting started. We first need to talk about Mr. Pennington. Thanks to documents I retrieved at the time of Ricchetti's arrest, I discovered the true identity of Andrew Pennington. He is more than just the manager of the Ridgway family finances. He is also the head of a criminal organisation called The Spire. They are involved in arms trafficking on an international level. Want to start a revolution? They'll supply every bullet. Ricchetti worked as a hitman for them.
Pennington was a crime lord? I knew he was corrupt, but to that extent.
I also discovered that Pennington was connected to my 2 suspects. Let's start with Cornelia. You were born into wealth, but your family was ruined by Pennington and Lynette's father, who was also part of the Spire. You knew this, and you decided to take your revenge.
You're wrong. My father caused his own ruin.
Let's next have a look at Mr. Ferguson. Beneath his hippie facade, he comes from one of the richest families in England. You might say, but he lives in poverty, away from his family. In this case, clothes don't make the man, and his family was targeted by the Spire to be stripped of their fortune. He takes luxurious trips with the family's money and enjoys a lavish life. Killing Pennington would ensure he could maintain that lifestyle.
What is this Spire? I've never heard of it. It sounds like the villains in a James Bond movie.
The Spire is real enough. I can prove it. So, both suspects have a motive to kill Pennington. Here's how the murder happened.
Nice one.
The plan is clever. Clever yet simple. The murderer waits for Pennington to take his bath. The killer locks himself in the bathroom next to Pennington's bathroom, opens the ventilation grate, and cuts the invisible fishing line holding the wall lamp. The lamp falls into the bath, electrocuting Pennington and blowing the fuses. Miss Van Schuyler alerts the receptionist when she sees the bathwater spilling into the hallway.
A little genius, this murderer. Very little fuss or bother. Your explanations are very clear, Miss Royce. But there's a small problem.
I see where you're going with this. That's right. There's a missing piece to the puzzle. How did the murderer manage to set the trap? We know that the wall lamp had been deliberately unscrewed and hooked to a string at the grate. All of this could only have been done from inside Pennington's room. But when? No one could have entered Pennington's room from the time we arrived tonight until his death, because we all dined together. And then he went up to his room. The trap must have been set up well in advance.
But when? We just arrived.
Today is your second visit to this hotel. You were all in the hotel a few days ago, before the boat departure for Abu Simbel, Cornelia too. The room could have been entered then and the trap rigged. So the trap was set and only waiting to be triggered after the return from the cruise.
But I had the same room as last time.
If I may, we always give the same room to a guest if we know they will be returning to the hotel. You all had the same room as before the cruise. Since there were no complaints, the hotel arranged for everyone to return to the same rooms.
There's a way to be sure. I'll show you how. Here is the evidence that condemns the guilty party. I can therefore identify the culprit with certainty. Cornelia, you killed Pennington.
My cousin? Unthinkable.
But what is in that register to accuse her?
It is certain that Pennington's and Cornelia's rooms were intentionally switched in the logbook. The receptionist reiterated that he always assigns the same room.
But what happened with this logbook?
It's simple. It was Cornelia who swapped the rooms in the logbook. The night before the cruise departure, she set the trap in her room, then took advantage of the receptionist's sleep to falsify the logbook. If they were not asleep, a diversion needing their attention could be arranged. As a result, Pennington's future room was rigged. All she needed was to get closer to Ferguson during the cruise, because she knew he would have the neighbouring room, ensuring she could trigger the trap at the right moment.
Human nature will never cease to disappoint me.
Our relationship was sincere. I truly appreciate you.
Cornelia, it's time for you to tell us the truth.
Yes, it is time. For my 21st birthday, my mother confessed the truth about my father to me. I had always believed he had caused our family's ruin with his bad investments. In reality, it was Lynette's father, aided by Pennington, who stole all of our family's fortune. My father was swindled by them and couldn't bear the humiliation. I started to hate those two men. But I never held anything against Lynette. She was innocent and a good person. When we arrived at the hotel, I discovered that Pennington was there. I saw it as a sign. I was finally going to be able to fulfill the vengeance I had wished for years.
I understand your thirst for vengeance better than anyone, but it won't ease your pain.
My dear, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I should have been there for you more.
I wish I could stay a little longer, but I have to go back to London.
I would have enjoyed traveling back with you, but I'm staying a few more days. I might, finally, be able to relax and enjoy Egypt. If it is not impolite to ask, what are you going to do when you return to England, Miss Royce?
I'm not taking on any new cases right away. There's more I need to know about Emmy's murderers. I'm going to dig deeper into the Spire organization.
It is a big case you're tackling, Miss Royce. A dangerous one. I wish you the best of luck. Please, keep me informed. And if there is anything Poirot can do, please just ask.
It's been a pleasure, Mr. Poirot.
For me as well, mademoiselle. Of course, there were 1 or 2 points in your summation of the crime where you erred.
What? When? Why didn't you speak up during my explanation?
But you were doing so well, and I knew you were doing it. You needed to do it. For your dear Emmy. Let it never be said Poirot does not recognize when love speaks. It is better just to listen.
I wish we could share it, Emmy.